the quickest term for, or a definition of a pod. It's not a ward. Big difference. Okay, centrally located within a pod is a nurse work area, physician's work area, supply, all that centrally located. But what makes the pod system at Halifax unique is what you're looking at now. Individual working area to maximize efficiency. So physicians sit in here to do their dictation, view films, do whatever they need to do. They have a complete vision of the entire surrounding rooms, and they also isolated by windows, so there is no noise, there is no interruption. ERs are notorious for the fact that it's chaotic, noise and people shouting, and I think it's chaotic enough that they make TV shows about it. It's almost like people get high on the noise and all that. Well, this, you can see that the physicians will sit here and you can view films, you can do anything, and it's fully automated. So if there's an x-ray taken in the room, the physician will sit here within 8 seconds, right here at his fingertip or her fingertip. Behind it, we have the nutrition and medication and supplies for the nurses. On the right and the left, in this case it will be west and east, there is 2 nurse stations that each one can take 8 with all their computers and gadgets that they need. You'll notice, stand anywhere here on any of these workstations, you will be able to absorb all the rooms within the pod. Another thing that you will notice is the door heights and the head wall. The head wall have a monitor on it, so for all practical purposes, if the nurse standing here, she can observe that monitor inside the room. She can see it. So what we did is we took a look at the door height and we designed it in a way that she can see the monitor from here. Okay? So in a nutshell, the pod system that you see in the market, maybe textbook or a fundamental pod, what you see here is a very specific built based on efficiency and total observation of the patient. And also there is linear movement within the pod as well. So if you look at here, you're going to see a straight line that allows them to go back and forth. They don't have to go around. If you look at any pod system or word system, you'll see a circle and it's close. So you still have to go in circle. You don't have to do that here. Okay? Another feature within each pod is central supply, clean and central solid utility rooms. Each 2 pods share one. They are located side by side where the 2 pods separate. So you don't have to build it for everyone. Also, we have individual bathrooms for the staff and bathrooms for the patients. Another feature too is that the areas that we couldn't really utilize, we built these alcoves, so stretcher for every pod could be here. So when you're walking around, there's no clutter. No clutter at all. Okay. Moving on from the children pod or the pediatrics pod, we're going into the fast track pod. Obviously, every ER, that's the biggest active or hyperactive area, which is fast track. That's, you know, the wounds and the cuts and the accidents in the kitchen, or, you know, spraining your ankle or breaking your elbow. So that all goes into the fast track. So the fast track pod will feature the same setup, which is a perimeter view all the way around 360, central physician area, nurses area, all the features that you saw in that pod, except we have 2 x-ray rooms dedicated for this area, because most of those fast track area will be needing it. That doesn't mean that a pediatrics kid need an x-ray. They can come in here. Sure. Why did we pick that one to be with the, to be named the fast track? Because from here you can have one shot all the way to the last pod, have one shot to the first pod. So it's sort of like there is no, again, the movements will be linear. There will be no right, left, up, down. Okay. These are the 2-hour RF rooms or the X-ray rooms for the fast track. One to the right, one to the left. Unfortunately, we don't have the machines yet, but I would like for you to come back when we have them because they are the first two probably in the nation. Yes.
Can you tell us about them now?
They are highly digital, almost perfect in accuracy. The images are unheard of. The machines themselves are so compact, they're not bulky. You know, if you look at it in traditional X-ray room within an ER, one of the features and those things are they're bulky, they're big, that thing moves back and forth. You're laying down, immediately you feel like, especially for the elderly, they feel like something big is going to fall on them. If you look at the one that we're buying, day and night. Day and night. I mean, the head on it is like just that much.
Does it have a brand name or a nickname?
It's a Siemens.
Siemens?
Yes. The technology within the machine itself is a Japanese technology, so it's a super digital system.
Does Siemens have a name for it or a model number or something?
They do. They have a name for it. I can get you.
Okay, I'd like to have the name, yeah.
It's I want to say it's a Yushe or Yusha. It's a Japanese name.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll need to get that from you.
Yeah, we can do that. Again, going back to, I like to stress that linear movement. You look, there is a big issue in most of ER, no matter what you try to do to solve ER problems. I mean, the whole nation is suffering from the ER waiting syndrome, and it's not big enough, and people wait by the hours. If you look at the reason behind all that, even when they build big ones, they forget the fact that the movement and the process flow is a key issue. If you don't have the right flow and you have the right staff and you have a big ER, you're still not moving them.
Right.
Well, if you look here, that everything is laid out based on linear movement. So if you're done in fast track and you're leaving, it's a one shot. You're not going to do that. You're not going to wander around.
But not till the sun, right?
Okay, we're entering the trauma zone, and the trauma zone begins from here all the way to the end. Some features about the trauma area that is not anywhere else is the fact that we have two entrances to our trauma, and each entrance have its own decontamination section. As you will see, if we consider this the north entrance, we have another one in the south entrance. Each one right next to it is an isolation room for decontamination. And the reason for that is we built this with the fact that we could be mass casualty receiving facility, so we will be able to receive from both doors. On regular basis, this will be the door for evac, which is patients coming in ambulances, but they're taken out of either their houses or they're taken out of a nursing home, so they can get registered here and they get wheeled into the specific pod that they need to go to. Well, the second door will still be receiving true trauma coming in through the ambulance, or if they're going to come in by the helicopter, they will come down the elevator, they come in here, and they move in into the trauma rooms.
Have you finished your high-speed elevator testing yet?
We're that close.
That close, okay.
Yeah.
And I know the elevator has a number of unique features that you had mentioned. I'll have you go over those.
Yes, it does. Right now they're setting up the air conditioning for the trauma rooms. Our trauma rooms are not standard. We didn't build them as a standard trauma. We pretty much got them as close as we can to be surgical theaters. So you have three of them, 1, 2, 3. What you're seeing here are boxes where the air will go in, and then we will have laminar air distribution